What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Welcome back to another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we're gonna check out the brand new hero known as TOHAR. TOHAR is a legendary magic hero added in the recent update. He is hands down one of the worst heroes to ever be introduced in the game. Today I'm gonna show you the strengths and weaknesses of this hero and show you how you can get some good value if you have already invested in this useless hero. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. Turn on the bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Without wasting any more time, let's get this party started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, the brand new season is here and it's the first few days of the new season. This is the Wheel of Destiny. I managed to get all the heroes without spending everything, so I just stopped. We have TOHAR coming to the strongest lord in 5 days. I can say this is hands down the worst hero to ever be added in the Call of Dragons. I'm gonna explain to you how all these 5 skills are completely useless in the open field. I got hit by an epiphany and I just realized this is hands down the worst hero in the game. So we're gonna discuss that today. We're gonna check out some war pets, we're gonna check out some artifacts, we're gonna see how you can take advantage of this hero if you have already invested in him. Game developers have added 2 heroes. We have TOHAR and Bertrand. Bertrand is okay, but TOHAR is just not good enough. We're going to begin the video by checking out all the 5 skills. We're going to check out the weaknesses. Then we're going to see how you can take advantage of this hero and also check out some talent trees later on. Starting off with the first skill that you see here, it does not require any rage. It says after every 5 normal attacks, TOHAR channels Rage of the Plateau, dealing damage to the target legion every second for 5 seconds. Moving interrupts channeling. Now this is not a very good skill. You get 5 normal attacks and then 5 channeling. If the enemy move, they are going to interrupt you and you're going to miss out on the skill damage factor. This is not good for you. When you fight in the open field, people are constantly moving. And since a lot of people know the weakness of this hero, they are going to keep resetting your channeling every 5 seconds. You won't be able to use all this skill damage factor. Enemy just has to take 1 step backwards and TOHAR is gonna get a reset and boom, you have no skill damage. Moving on to the second skill is known as Defensive Fortification. You get 20% garrison attack. However, there is a limitation. When your units go below 50%, you lose out on this 20% attack. Again, not good enough. On to the third skill, you get a 30% hero skill damage boost, but in return you lose 5% normal attack. I don't know why they even did it this way. Mages have like the worst normal attack in the game, yet they are reducing it by another 5%. On to the fourth skill known as the Plateau Protection. While channeling Rage of the Plateau, TOHAR's legion gain unyielding and shelter. Counterattack damage taken reduction of -15%. Defense bonus of 35%. So this is gonna depend on the first skill. Moving on to the Awakening Earth Ritual. After TOHAR finishes channeling Rage of the Plateau, his legion gains Keen. Attack plus 35% for 3 seconds. So these skills require that you complete the whole 5 seconds of channeling for it to work. Now let us see how TOHAR is gonna be the worst hero for you in the open field. The first thing we're going to check out is TOHAR is going to delay the rage skill of any hero that you pair up with him. Let's say your hero gains 1000 rage and then he's about to do his rage skill. And then TOHAR starts channeling. Now your hero is going to be held captive for the next 4 or 5 seconds waiting for TOHAR to finish channeling. And when you're held captive, you cannot gain any rage for the next 4 or 5 seconds because your rage bar is full. So basically you're just a sitting duck waiting for TOHAR to finish channeling, then you cast your rage skill. This is not looking good for this hero in terms of any of the heroes that you pair up with him. Now yesterday I got hit by an epiphany and I just came to realize that this guy is the most useless commander in the open field. So let me show you guys how that is the case. So you have a rage skill that is being controlled by the enemy. It's like you build a defensive fortress and then decided to give your enemy the key to enter your fortress. So when you fight with your TOHAR in the open field, your enemies know your weakness. They know that after every 5 normal attack, you're going to start channeling. So they are going to take a step back. They are going to prevent you from channeling throughout the whole march. You are never going to be able to use this first skill for TOHAR. You are never going to channel in the open field because the enemy is constantly moving. Now, how is that going to affect you if you fight people like that in the open field? The second skill is for the garrison is not going to work. Now you have a rage skill that doesn't give you any rage. You have a second skill that is not working. And your rage skill over here, which is not a rage skill, does not give you any rage skill damage. And then you have the third skill, which gives you magic unit hero skill damage dealt bonus of 30%. You're also not going to take advantage of this skill because the enemy is constantly resetting your channeling. So you cannot do any skill damage here, which means you cannot take advantage of this 30% for TOHAR. To make things worse, the game developers have decided to give you -5% normal attack in the process, the only thing that you have got going for you. They have decided to reduce it by -5%. So you're not doing any skill damage from here. You're relying on your normal attack. Second skill useless. 30% skill damage useless because you're not doing any skill here. On top of that, your normal attack reduced by 5%. On to skill number 4, another useless skill. Enemy keeps moving every 4 seconds, every 3 seconds, resetting your channeling. You cannot channel, you cannot trigger skill number 4. Skill number 5, which is the awakening, is gonna cost you 380 tokens to go from here to here, only to get a skill that you will never ever use in the open field. The enemy knows your weakness. Take one step backwards and you have neutralized TOHAR. You do that, no channeling, no awakening. Enemy takes one step back, no channeling, no plateau protection. Enemy takes one step back, channeling reset, you lose out on the shamanic mastery. Second skill not working. So this is why TOHAR is one of the most useless heroes in the game. Honestly, right now, even Kela will do well for you in the open field than a TOHAR if you find enemies who know how to deal with you. Every 4 seconds, one step backward, TOHAR neutralized. Now let us talk about how the game developers can somewhat try and fix this hero. Now before we get to that, another reason why this first skill for TOHAR is useless because he has a 5-second skill animation. As we know in this game, 2 heroes cannot do a skill animation at the same time. One of them has to finish before the other one casts their skill. So this is the problem with TOHAR. This is how he delays the rage skill of the deputy. Now I think the game developers can fix this hero by making him work the way this artifact works in the open field. So the Infernal Flame, you hit the enemy every second. You can move, it can get interrupted, but it's still going on for the 3 seconds. So I think they need to make TOHAR work like the Infernal Flame. Maybe give him a 2-second skill animation and then let all of his channeling work passively in the background. If he moves, he loses out on a few seconds. If he targets someone else, the channeling carries over to that next target. Now when they do this, the deputy is going to be casting rage like crazy. They can add other skill here where they can reduce the amount of rage you gain to compensate for the deputy doing a lot of rage skill cycles. As soon as you fix this first skill, you have fixed this hero. And a lot of people are going to invest in him. Now, if you have already invested in this hero, let's discuss how you can make use of him in the open field. Okay, so now you have invested in the hero, you have him at 5555, you got him awakened, you are so happy, you are so excited. You go to the open field and then you meet enemies who just stand there and wait for you. So you are going to use this hero 100% perfectly. You're going to get nice channeling, you're going to take advantage of this. You're going to take advantage of plateau protection. You're going to take advantage of earth ritual. Your enemies are just standing there waiting for you. They have no life. They don't know what to do. So you're going to use this hero. Now, another place you can use him is going to be inside the Alliance Keep when you have enemies that just stand there and wait for you. So your TOHAR is going to be doing a lot of damage. He can also be good at killing those infantry who come very, very close. That's about it. So now we're going to check out some war pets that you can use with this hero. I think you can use this new war pet here known as the Shadow Frederick. It might be the best one. It has this passive ability known as the Captive. It gives you more damage on the field. But the Sapphire Frederick is hands down the best war pet to use for any magic troop type in the game, regardless of whether you have the burning effect, you have the freeze effect, or you have the poison. This, I believe, is the best war pet for any magic troop type. So the first one on the list is this one, the Sapphire Frederick. And then you have the Shadow Frederick second. Then you can use the Thunder Lizard as the third option. And then you can use the Sun Lizard. You might want to stay away from the Ice Lizard because TOHAR is going to delay your rage skill. And then you have an Ice Lizard who is going to delay the rage skill of your deputy again. So you don't really want to pair this guy with your TOHAR. What else do we have here? Do we have any other war pets? I think this is it for the war pet. What are some of the best pairings for TOHAR in the Call of Dragons? The number one pairing is going to be Bertrand, obviously. Just like all the Season 2 heroes, the game developers have built them to work with each other. Now Bertrand is going to work well with TOHAR. The only problem is the movement is going to kill you guys. So let's check out the second skill for Mr. Bertrand, known as the Compound Interest. So it says when Bertrand deals 0 skill damage, he gains 1 stack of Golden Mark for 5 seconds. It can stack up to 3 times. So when TOHAR is channeling, he is gonna trigger the mark for Bertrand. So let me explain how this is gonna be quite useful if you find enemies that don't move. So when TOHAR channels the first time, he's gonna trigger 1 mark. So he's gonna give you 10% skill damage for the next 5 seconds. So it means the remaining channeling will be boosted by 10%. So TOHAR does the second channeling, he's gonna trigger the second mark of Bertrand. Now he has 2 marks. And now your skill damage has been increased by 20% for the next 5 seconds. When he channels the third time, he's gonna trigger the third mark. Your skill damage has been boosted by 30% for the next 5 seconds. So the remaining 2 channeling will be boosted by 30%. And then since Bertrand is already waiting, he has full rage. When it is his turn, after TOHAR finished channeling, he is going to consume all of those 3 stacks and then turn them into 15% rage skill boost. So you're gonna get 15% boost on your 1500 skill damage. So this is how these 2 heroes work. Now you can pair up TOHAR with pretty much any magic hero in the game. The only problem is he is not good for the open field. The game developers have decided to give the enemies the key to your fortress. They pretty much control your hero. All they have to do is take 1 step backwards and they have neutralized your TOHAR, making him the most useless hero in the game. You gave the enemy the key to control your fortress. All these other skills are useless. They are dependent on this first skill. So what else? Do we have anybody to pair up with him? I don't see anything good. You can pair him with Lilia. That way you can take advantage of the 30%. So basically you're only using your Lilia to get TOHAR 30% rage skill damage. It could be very good for the open field. We're gonna have to test that and see how it works. Even if the enemy neutralized your first skill, your Lilia might be able to use this 30%. However, your TOHAR might not because enemy keeps moving. So yeah, this 30% might be good for Lilia or a Velen deputy. We just have to check that out and see how they work. When it comes to artifact, you can pretty much use any magic artifact in the game. You can use Infernal Flame, you can use the Phoenix Eye, you can use this thing right here, the Tear of Arbon. All of them are great choices for your TOHAR. However, if you want the best of the best, then you need to bring some cash money and unlock this guy over here known as the Mirage Orb. So this guy is gonna deal damage to the target legion, then knocks 2 enemy legions near the target airborne and deals diffuse damage to them. So the damage factor is 1500, damage factor other legion 1000. So basically, every time your Legion gains a buff effect through a hero skill, they deal 7% more artifact skill damage up to a maximum of 21%. So if you pair up TOHAR and Bertrand together, you are gonna maximize this damage. I think it is 41% if we check from one of the other places. So let's see how this is gonna go down. So TOHAR is gonna channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is gonna trigger this mark for Bertrand. When you trigger all these marks, you are gonna trigger the boosted damage for the Mirage Orb artifact. So that is how they work. They were built to work with each other. Well, now that you have blindly invested in this hero just like me without realizing, now let me show you how you can build him with some talent trees to use with the hero. I just don't like the fact that the enemy has the keys to your fortress. They can control your rage skill, and your rage skill controls everything that you have here. It has turned this hero into the most useless hero in the game. So let us check out some talent trees that you can use if you have already invested in this terrible hero. So we're gonna go to the Roots of War. We got some stuff here. So this is TOHAR. So we're gonna go with the magic talent tree. This is how everything looks. Starting off with the foundational talents. These are the things that you grab. You come over here and you grab this thing right here. Now from the support talent tree, we came and took this Adrenaline Rush. Your Legion deals 4% normal attack damage. Now with this hero, you're going to be interrupted a lot. You're not going to take advantage of your rage from the channeling, and you also cannot gain any rage. So skills like this are not very good for you. So we boost the normal attack because that is what you're going to be using a lot of the time. And plus this normal attack, I used it to compensate for the minus 5% that they took from here. Like, why the heck did they take out minus 5%? Could it be because this hero is powerful with another 5% normal attack? So that is the logic. We have this normal attack right here. You know what? We have this 5% here fully loaded to compensate for the minus 5 they took from the skills. And then this one is to help you throughout the fight when your enemies are just taking one step backward, preventing you from channeling throughout the match. You got 15% magic speed here. You have intimidation, rage skill boost. This should help your deputy since your main TOHAR might not be able to cast any skill from channeling, especially when the enemies are moving. Now the remaining 2 points, I decided to drop them here, giving him more attack. You have the Magic Maelstrom, an awesome skill. You come here, you grab this, get some magic defense break when you get hit by a skill damage. And then over here you have two options. You can go with the Cry Havoc when the target's Legion's unit count is less than 50%. Your Legion deals 1.5% more hero skill damage. Or you can take the Insult to Injury. When your Legion is only composed of magic units, they deal 5% more damage through continuous damage effect. So TOHAR's channeling is going to be a continuous damage, I believe. But you know what? The enemies have the keys to your fortress. They are going to control your channeling, so might be useless. Now towards the end, you have the Iconoclasm. When your Legion is composed entirely of magic units, you deal 2% more hero skill damage for 10 seconds every time you gain a buff effect up to 10%. So this is going to work well with Bertrand and TOHAR. So TOHAR is going to trigger the mark for Bertrand, and then you're going to be gaining buffs that's going to take this to 10% very, very quickly. And that's it for the magic talent tree. This is how I would build this magic talent tree. Make sure you take advantage of the normal attack because that's what's gonna help you. You should also maybe focus on the attack of the hero because, you know, enemy controls your channeling abilities. Up next, I'm gonna show you guys how you can build the support talent tree for Mr. TOHAR. So I decided to use Ileana over here, too lazy to clear the other talent tree. So this is the support talent tree that I would use with TOHAR. These are the foundational talent. Get some Mage speed. Grab this one over here. Come and get this overall health. You need to take this normal attack because, you know, they gave him minus 5% normal attack. Why did they do that? You skip the rage regeneration because, you know, TOHAR doesn't need any rage. Your deputy is not gonna be gaining any rage when TOHAR is holding them hostage while he finishes his channeling. From here you can get some good stuff. Just pick one that works for you. At this big node, I decided to take the force field. Every time your legion gains a buff effect, their HP increases by 0.5% up to a maximum of 3%. When you pair up TOHAR and Bertrand, you can get this one very fast. And then here you got the rage skill boost. Over here you're gonna take strength to strength. Your legion deal 1.5% more damage, can help you out. You have here sublimation. When launching a normal attack, your legion has 10% chance to gain synergy, increasing their hero skill damage dealt by 10% for 5 seconds. So here is a cool tip for you guys. If you are using Thea, make sure you do not pick this type of talent with synergy. It's going to interfere with the synergy rage skill for Thea, making you lose her 15% and instead get the 10% over here. So you better watch out for that. At the end, we have the Flock of Blessings. When your legion gains a buff effect, they also gain healing. You're gonna get a lot of buffs from TOHAR and Bertrand together. And then you have 17 points left. You can put your 17 points on the magic talent tree and pick up some good stuff from there. So this is how I would build these two heroes based on what I have shown you so far. Now when it comes to rallying your enemies or defending your city, I don't even recommend this hero whatsoever because you are gonna get destroyed by the likes of Cindrion. So this is the rally talent tree that we have here. First of all, don't use this guy to defend your city or your passes because it's not gonna end well for you. His skill, when it goes to below 50%, you lose out on the 20% attack. And Cindrion and Frega are crazy at destroying this guy. You also have Bakshi and Emrys, who are just too dangerous. So overall, this is the worst hero to ever be added in the game. I hope the game developers can fix this hero. A lot of people have been looking forward to this season because they wanted to play with their new mages. Unfortunately, you cannot do that with this guy over here. Let us do a quick summary of everything that we have discussed so far. I think the game developers messed up big time with this hero. I don't think he's gonna be very useful in the open field. A lot of people have been looking forward to this season. They have saved up their tokens only to be disappointed by this magic hero. Now the problem is the Earth Conduit ability. The game developers have made it so that your enemies have control of your ability. All they have to do is take one step backwards and neutralize this ability completely. You will never get the skill damage factor. And when this ability doesn't work, everything else is not gonna work for you. Absolutely zero. You also have -5% normal attack, which is the only thing that you have got going for you. And they decided to take that away from you as well. So this hero has become terrible. I probably wouldn't recommend him to anybody right now. I am only investing in him because I want to make content. He might turn out to be okay. I was a little optimistic, hoping he would be like Cindrion. When Cindrion first came out, people did not like his rage skill, but he turned out to be very good in the open field. With Cindrion, the enemy cannot control this rage skill. And all these other skills do not depend on the rage skill. It has made Cindrion OP. But with this guy, Earth Conduit, controlled by your enemy, there is nothing else you can do. So that's pretty much it, guys. If I discover something new about this hero, I'm gonna make a video. In the future, I might make another guide. I just hope the game developers fix this hero. They have fixed heroes in the past. I remember Lilia had 100% chance to scorch enemy. She was too overpowered. They decided to bring this down to 50%. Where is Madeline? Husk had an awesome rage skill. They decided to nerf it just a little bit. Where is Madeline? She's right here. I think Madeline did not have the AoE skill damage over here, and her awakening wasn't that great. They decided to make it awesome. So I got my fingers crossed. Hopefully the game developers can do something about TOHAR and turn him into a powerhouse, making this season fun. Because right now, people who are coming from lower seasons, I don't think they're gonna invest in this guy. And that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, subscribe for more content. Until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.